welcome to First Parish Unitarian Universalist here in Canton, where it's a beautiful snowy morning. Today's service is about the Jericho Circle program, and because I've had a little bit of a respiratory and voice problem, I've pre-recorded several of the segments.
Then the rainstorm came over me, and I felt my spirit break. I had lost all of my belief, you see, and realized my mistake. But time threw a prayer to me, and all around me became still. I need love. Love's divine. Please forgive me, now I see that I've been blind. Give me love. Love is what I need to help me know my name. Through the rainstorm came sanctuary, and I felt my spirit fly. I had found all of my reality. I realized what it takes. 'Cause I need love. Love's divine. Please forgive me, now I see that I've been blind. Give me love. Love is what I need to help me know my name. Oh, I don't bend, don't break. Show me how to live and promise me you won't forsake. 'Cause love can help me know my name. Well, I tried to say there's nothing wrong, when inside I felt me lying all along. But the message here was plain to see. Believe me. 'Cause I need love. Love's divine. Please forgive me, now I see that I've been blind. Give me love. Love is what I need to help me know my name. Oh, I don't bend, don't break. Show me how to live and promise me you won't forsake. 'Cause love can help me know my name. Love can help me know my name.
Our opening reading is by John O'Donohue, entitled For a Prisoner. caged in a cold functional cell, far from the comfort of home with none of your things, in a place that is gray and grim, where sounds are seldom gentle, amidst the shuffle of dumbed feet, the crossword of lost voices. The one constant note is the dead, trap-shut sound of unrelenting doors that make walls absolute. Though you have lost the outside world, may you discover the untold journey that awaits you in the inner world. May you come to recognize that though your body is imprisoned, no one can imprison your mind. May all the time you have on your hands bring you into new friendship with your mind, so that you learn to understand and integrate the darkness that brought you here. Within this limited space, may you learn to harness the stretch of time. May your compassion awaken. May you learn to recover the self you were before you lost your way, and draw from its depths some balm to heal your wounds. Behind the harsh rhythms of prison life, may you find a friend you can talk to and nurture the natural kindness to become more free in your heart and lighten the outer constraints. May your eyes look up and find the bright line of an inner horizon that will ground and encourage you for that distant day when your new feet will step out again onto the pastures of freedom. This is the time in our service to offer your financial support to the good works of First Parish Unitarian Universalist, and also to our Faith and Action recipient, which this month is the Jericho Circle. In a moment, I'll post in the chat window the information for how you can make your donation. And I'll turn it over to Jim to play the offertory. Thank you, Jim, for that beautiful piece. Bear with me for a moment while I bring up the next reading. This next piece, entitled The Circle, was written by one of our longtime participants. Over the years, longtime participants have been trained as what we call circle guides and share in the leadership of our groups. I actually have some differences with what he has shared here, but I'll read this now and I'll speak to those differences a little later on. There is a group of outside men who leave their homes, their loved ones, and who leave their own body armor behind. These outside men come to a place dark and cold where walls are so thick they're almost unbreakable. This place called prison. These outside men have chosen to step forward to help a group of inside men seek their own survival. These men come to form, to shape, and share a safe environment in a room called Jericho Circle. There is a group of inside men who leave their cells, their body armor intact, approaching a door they have heard about, a room filled with uncertainty and unknowns. The outside men wait at this door for the group of inside men to arrive, greeting each man with a warm smile and firm handshake. The inside men, with hearts pounding, nervous smile, and brief handshake, step inside this room, sitting quietly, waiting on fate. The circle is now formed, with men similar yet so unsimilar. The outside men speak to the circle purpose. This room is sacred ground for all men present. This room filled with broken, battered, confused men, their years in life hardened with denials, rejections, self-righteousness, tired of running away. The outside men ask these inside men for patience. Let us help you remove those masks you continue to wear. Help you men once more forge your real face in love, peace, and truth. The beginning is cautious, fearful, and uncomfortable. Having to display emotions and feelings, all the terrors I've hidden away so long ago, covered up in lies and excuses I told to myself, to my friends, to my family. Now having to reveal myself in front of other men, yet I sit here knowing I am searching for my own freedom, my release from my self-imposed madness. The outside men prepare the inside men to journey to deep secrets, dark moments, the many different parts of himself in angers, resentments, sadness, and loneliness, helping each man who does his work to slay demons, shed those painful tears, break down those walls that help fuel your insanity and all of your weakness. I sit and watch. The inside man has grasped and absorbed the precious gifts called Jericho Circle, conquering his fears, shattering his pain, taking away his shame. The outside men fill each inside man with a renewed spirit, confidence, humbleness, each inside man having pride within his heart, having his humanity restored. I now leave my cell, my body armor left behind, taking my seat in our circle of outside and inside men in this room, this sacred ground, our safe foundation, being open, being honest, being complete. Now each handshake with a warm embrace, a sincere smile, and thankful welcome. Before I leave our circle of inside and outside men, I look upon each man's face present, and I speak these words of truth. May your own circle stay strong and unbroken. If by some reason your circle breaks apart, knock on the door of your Jericho Circle brothers. We will come forth and help you fix your circle once more. stay with, and stay in your integrity. The tagline for today's service could be, "Things don't always go as planned." The original plan was to hear from some men who participated in Jericho Circle while incarcerated, who have now returned to their communities. Hopefully that will happen in the not too distant future. Circumstances have kept me from giving my full attention and energy to orchestrating that. Our first and second UU principles, the inherent worth and dignity of every person, and justice, equity, and compassion in human relations, are also cornerstones of the work we do in Jericho Circle. Today's second reading, The Circle, described one man's experience as a participant in Jericho Circle. It fairly well represents what occurs during our weekly circles inside prison. However, it might give the impression of a lopsided transaction where volunteers, also known as outside men, bring acceptance, healing, and love to the helpless inside men in our groups. I can assure you that the inside men are far from helpless, and the exchange of healing is very much a two-way street. First, a brief history lesson. The Jericho Circle Project was founded in 2001 by Steve Spitzer, a now retired sociology professor with a keen interest in criminology. During a weekend training offered by the Mankind Project, an international men's self-growth organization, Steve uncovered his life mission, which is, I create a world of peace, freedom, and healing by breaking the shackles of men, one man at a time, beginning with my own. Steve visited California to participate in and learn about the Inside Circle program operating at Folsom Prison. In 2001, with assistance from other men in the Mankind Project, he initiated the Jericho Circle Project program at FMC Devens, a federal prison in Ayer, Massachusetts. We collaborate and share resources with the Inside Circle program in California, which helped us get started, as well as the Truth program in Wisconsin, which we in turn mentored in their early stages. Jericho Circle has operated at various correctional facilities in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and now in Maine. Like many other volunteers, I learned of Jericho Circle following my participation in a New Warrior training adventure weekend offered by the Mankind Project. At the end of that weekend, Steve Spitzer was one of several men who spoke about their missions of service. Something about the prison work caught my attention, and the rest is history. I joined the Jericho Circle team of volunteers just as the program was being introduced at MCI Norfolk, the prison where I primarily volunteer. I'd like now to give a brief overview of what we do, or what we did in the days before COVID. Our weekly circles meet in 8-week cycles. All participants commit to attending each of the 8 meetings. Circles typically include 2 to 3 volunteers, 2 to 3 circle guides who are experienced inmates who attend monthly facilitation trainings, and 5 to 8 regular participants. Men who wish to continue can sign up for the next 8-week cycle. Historically, about half the participants choose to do this. Participants commit to abiding by our group guidelines, the most important of which are around confidentiality and safety. One thing I love about the cycles is watching the trust in the group build from week to week. At the start of each session, we ask men to welcome openness and vulnerability and to armor down, to remove the masks they wear to be safe in the yard. And for volunteers, the masks we wear to be safe in the world. Each meeting ends by asking men to armor back up, as the vulnerability we share in circle may not serve us in the yard or in the streets. At each institution, we try to offer 2 to 3 weekend intensives per year. Volunteers from around the country are paired one-on-one with incarcerated men who have participated in our weekly groups. We spend about 12 hours per day on both Saturday and Sunday with our partners, with other participants in structured activities, in small groups, and equally important, sharing meals together. That's a rare treat for the men who live in prison, and a challenge for those of us accustomed to more appetizing meals. These activities, or processes as we call them, have evolved over time. They are structured and sequenced to ensure physical and psychic safety, starting with a deep dive into the situations that caused us pain or caused us to inflict pain on others, and ending with growth and healing. Everyone participates, including volunteers. Earlier, you heard the song Love's Divine by Seal. That piece is played at the end of a very healing process we call mercy, which, as you might guess, involves forgiveness. Several years ago, we had a very important learning and growth opportunity when we heard that some aspects of that process were uncomfortable for some of the Muslim participants. We met with them and with the Muslim chaplain and made appropriate adjustments to the process. Now we make every effort to ensure that at least one of the men leading that process on a weekend is Muslim. We also offer facilitation trainings on Saturdays. Once per month, we conduct an all-day training for the circle guides and for new volunteers. These cover many areas, including the basics of running a weekly circle, anger management, deep listening, and other facilitation skills. Occasionally, we bring in experts in certain fields, such as Dick Schwartz, who literally wrote the book, or I should say several books, on internal family systems, a tool we have found extremely effective. Outside of prison, we offer re-entry circles for men who have returned to their communities and want to continue to meet in circle. In March of 2020, COVID brought our operations to a grinding halt. We waited patiently for programs to return, perhaps in a few weeks. As those weeks grew into months, we took the opportunity of the downtime from our usual hectic schedule to restructure our operations. We now have an executive director, an important role that has freed us from management by committee. We also deepened our connection and collaboration with other prison programs, sharing our ideas and resources for bringing virtual programs to locations where we cannot meet in person. And we have forged alliances with key personnel in the Department of Corrections who have been extremely helpful in implementing virtual programming and have facilitated our working with returning men, some who had early release because of COVID. I titled this talk, Love is the Answer, but haven't yet said much about love. Earlier, I made reference to Richard Schwartz, who developed internal family systems, or IFS. In his book, No Bad Parts, he writes, I can safely say that this is true of parts. They can become quite extreme and do a lot of damage in a person's life, but there aren't any that are inherently bad. Even the ones that make bulimics binge or anorexics starve, or make people want to kill themselves or murder other people, even those parts, when approached from this mindful place, this respectful, open, curious place, will reveal the secret history of how they were forced into the role they're in and how they're stuck in that role, terrified that if they don't do it, something dreadful will happen. Let's pause here to explore the spiritual implications of this discovery. Basically, what I found is that love is the answer in the inner world, just as it is in the outer world. Listening to, embracing, and loving parts allows them to heal and to transform as much as it does for people. Again, those are the words of Dick Schwartz. We rarely end a meeting without volunteers and participants exchanging the words, love you guys. Here, we use that term in the truest form of both filial or brotherly love and agape love, which is unconditional and perfect. In simpler terms, Elaine Lowry's daughter Karen once commented that Jericho Circle's work demonstrates the power of unconditional love. Love is the answer. Thank you.
We'll build a land where we bind up the broken. We'll build a land where the captives go free, where the oil of gladness dissolves all mourning. Oh, we'll build a promised land that can be. Come, build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream. We build a land where we bring the good tidings to all the afflicted and all those who mourn, and we'll give them garlands instead of ashes. Oh, we'll build a land where peace is born. Come, build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream. Come, build a land where the mantles of praises resound from spirits once faint and once weak, where like oaks of righteousness stand her people. Oh, come build the land, my people, we seek. Come build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream.
The service has ended. Go out into the world and bring love to everything you do and everyone you meet. Thank you, Jim. That was just beautiful. That piece in the offertory, I love those. Thank you so much.